What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back with you with more content with me and Ash. Today, there will not be a pre-match build-up or anything, but we will be delivering to you the predicted lineup. And once again, today, I am joined with the incredible Ash. How are you, buddy?
Yes, bro. I'm good, man. Good to see you as well again.
Always good to spend time with you, my brother, and I look forward to it in April. Right, the predicted lineup, as they always start. They always start with the players out injured. So I'm just going to go through this list. Solanke out, Romero out, Odegaard out, Maddison, Udogie, Vicario, Werner, Johnson, and Dragusin is now added to that list, or should we say Tale of Woe? Ashmati, which one do you reckon?
Yeah, the latter, man.
We'll do the latter one. So let's go through the starting lineup, or predicted lineup, should we say? And we are going to start, obviously, quite simply. There's only one person it's really going to be, isn't it? And that's Kinski. What have you thought of Kinski in the few games that he's had for us now?
It's a mixed bag, to be fair. I think for what it's worth, it's upgrade definitely on Fraser Forster.
Yeah.
In terms of with his feet, you know, he absolutely helps us from playing out from the back. Especially on corners as well. I think lots of people feel a lot more safe when he's at the back line. And he does talk. That's one thing I can say. He does talk. Some of the goals against was it Everton? No, Leicester, sorry. I thought there was a few things I thought I could have got that. Do you know what I mean? But you know, overall, yeah, we are where we are. Do you know what I mean? And Kikski has to start. Because Vicario, I don't know if he's ready yet to start. I know he's been in training. He's been taking a few training sessions, and he's looking like he's chomping at the bit to get back to his return. And I think Kingski's a big reason for that, for him to speed his recovery up. It's no, I'm not surprised that he's ready back a bit early. Do you know what I mean? But I do have to be, you know, careful, because we know players will say they're ready, and then before you know it, we'll pull up with a little injury.
At current, yeah, that is a big problem. But yeah, like you said, Kinski comes in. He's definitely number one until Vicario comes back. So it's a no-brainer. He starts right. We're going to go across the back four now. And obviously at right back, the out of form, the physically knackered Pedro Porro, who he needs a rest, doesn't he? But obviously we've got no option. His form's taken a dip, but no one can doubt his dedication to play, because he's running on empty, isn't he? But no choice to play anyone else other than him, really, is there?
At this stage, no. We're quite thin on those areas, so it would have been nice if we had more cover at left back. I suppose we could have maybe rotated. I know Jed Spencer's been out, but I saw him on the sidelines on Thursday, and I was like, "Oh, we could do with Jed Spence playing in the right position to give Porro a little bit of rest needed." And I would like to see Jed there eventually, but you know, we are thin at the moment, so it is what it is. And Porro has been suffering, I think, more so defensively than going forward with the ball. Do you know what I mean? I think that's where he switches off a lot and gets caught out, and oppositions know that. They know they want to target our right hand side. So yeah.
Exactly. Well, I'll tell you what, you mentioned Jed Spence. Maybe he won't be in this starting lineup. Bit of suspense there as we go through the back line. So we'll go to the centre backs on the right. It looks like the ever dependable and person who I think is not getting the credit he deserves, young Archie Gray, will be starting again at centre back. What have you made of Archie Gray, Ashmatic?
Yeah, Archie Gray is what it is, man. He's had to do a job, and I think he's done that job well. Do you know what I mean? I think he's done that job very well. He's played left back, right sided centre back. He's played every position in the back four, on the back line, pretty much. Do you know what I mean? So
he has been Mr. Versatility this season, hasn't he, for the back line? He is Mr. Versatile. And you know what? He's been Mr. Dependable, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's been somewhat at his age, or even regardless if it wasn't his age, like he's just been that almost like a leader that we haven't seen coming, because he's been under pressure a lot of the time to be in a makeshift back four, in a high line at times, and he's just had to get on with it. That's what I mean by leader. He doesn't complain at all. He just gets on with it, gets his head down. And actually, on the ball, I think he's been one of our better centre backs, like from playing out from the back.
Completely, totally, and utterly agree. And alongside him will be Ben Davies, who the first half of the game on Thursday against Elfsborg, I thought he was playing as a false nine. I saw him up front so often. It's good to have Davies back as that calming influence for Gray. Do you think? Do you agree, Ashmatic?
Yeah, no, definitely, man. I 100% agree on that one. Yeah, I agree with that, man.
I mean, and again, it's pretty much we've left Van der Ven out. Let's have that conversation. Van der Ven has been left out because I've got a feeling he's going to be rested and maybe given minutes in the second half just so he is ready for Anfield. I mean, how do you feel on that?
Yeah, if the club are prioritising the cups like we think they are, then I would understand that decision if Van der Ven didn't start, as opposed to starting him and then taking him off like into the second half like they did in that Europa Cup game. So it can go either way. It can go either way, in my opinion. But at the same time, if he didn't start, it would make sense like that they're prioritizing the cups over the league.
Yep, I agree. I mean, he's got to the case with Van der Ven, all players now, that he's damned if he does start them. They say, why are you risking him? But if we don't play him and we do lose, they're like, well, why didn't you start Van der Ven? So he's in a bit of a tough situation, Ange. But to complete the back four, I said there might be a bit of suspense. Will Jed Spence's name be there? It is there. We're going for Jed Spence at left back. And do you know what? I've actually quite enjoyed seeing him at left back, even though right back is his preferred position. What have you made of him at left back?
I think attacker-wise, similar to Porro, on the ball, on his right foot, coming inside, inverting into midfield at times, still hugging that width, keeping that width nice and good, carrying that ball out, dribbling, taking his man on when he's higher up the pitch. I think he offers that threat from that wide area that we're actually missing. And some people look at it like, you know, a doggy, if he comes back, does he get in straight away? We're not too sure. That's how well he's been performing. But defensively, that's where I have some of my question marks, and rightly so, because I just feel like on his left shoulder is where it's getting in behind him at times, and teams know that. And certain times when we do play out from the back, we go towards him, teams are leaving him open on purpose, and they're using that as almost like a pressing trigger. So we've got a few things that we need to figure out in that position. But overall, I'm still happy to see him playing that left back role.
It's good to have him back. He has been a highlight of the season, and rightfully so with what's been going on at Spurs. But moving on to the midfield, we are starting with the returning Basuma coming straight in after a substitute appearance against Elfsborg. Good to see Basuma back. Do you reckon, Ashmatic?
Basuma, yes and no. Because yes and no, because we just don't know what Basuma we're going to get. Unfortunately, he's a bit inconsistent, a bit hot and cold. And in a game like this, I just need him to keep it simple. I think sometimes when he's got his head down and he doesn't mess about and he's just ultra focused, you see the best in Basuma. I think sometimes when he overplays it, spends too much time on the ball, that's when Basuma could lapse his concentration and things don't go according to plan. So it all depends what Basuma we're going to see. But in terms of like winning the ball back, being professional and defensively being solid, he can help us in that position.
Agreed. Well, the next person that we have got in the lineup is Pape Matar Sarr, who really is having a rough time of it now. Obviously, a niggle, shouldn't be playing, but has been playing. Form has dipped. But again, I think with the midfield, I think Bentancur is also going to be rested for Anfield. He needs to be taking it easy after his collapse against Liverpool. What are you making of Pape Matar Sarr going in the middle?
I would prefer Bentancur in the 8, if I'm being totally honest. I don't think Bentancur in the 6 was working, but I remember when he did play well for us, he was in like an 8, more of an 8 position where he'd win that ball back high up the pitch, was aggressive, could look after it. Pape Sarr for me in terms of possession, he's up and down. You know, he's not the safest. He's not the most
Yep.
secure position. He can lose possession. In terms of getting across the pitch, you know, being intense, winning that ball back, almost being a battering ram. He can be that. You know, he's got bundles of energy. However, he has been playing with a few knocks, a few injuries, and that's why I think his performance has dropped a lot in this last few games, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I completely agree. And to complete the midfield, we're going for our young Swede who was a bit erratic on Thursday against his team from his fellow country or from Sweden. We're going for Lucas Bergvall, and he was a bit erratic, and I think the occasion got to him on Thursday, didn't it?
Yeah. I think he saw all of his friends doing well, taking their man on. He wanted to do the same, and then he lost possession. And I think obviously you're gonna learn. He's 18, you know. I'm not really gonna judge him off the back of that. I know there's been other games as well. He has been a bit rash, but yeah, he's gonna have to learn. And they used to say that about Dele Alli as well. When he had a bit fire in them, he used to be a bit rash at times. But you don't want to take that tenacity out of the player, because he is combative, even when you power up the pitch. And we need that at the moment. We need some physicality. We need players to be aggressive in that middle of the park. And he definitely gives us that. But it's just whether or not he can be that number 10. Can he be that creative spark that we need in the park? Can he supply the front line? And can he get in the goals himself? That's the question mark.
Let's hope so. I think he is such an incredible talent. I think he's getting better as it goes on. There are, like you said, he has got those Dele Alli moments, which is good to have in a player, but it's controlling it, isn't it? He's going to have to learn, but that'll come with his development. So that's your midfield three of Bissouma, Sarr, Bergvall. Now on to the front three. And on the right wing, we've got the player of the season who is exhausted, absolutely shattered. Obviously got a 45-minute break, or a little bit longer than that. On Thursday, it's Dejan Kulusevski. What have you thought of Dejan Kulusevski recently, Ash?
Yeah, I mean, other than the game on Thursday, he'd been a bit inconsistent, in my opinion, again. But the whole team had, you know, it's been a current theme of this whole starting 11. Every player I've mentioned has been inconsistent from back to front. And it's just due to a lack of rest. You know, every 3 to 4 days, you're playing a game and you're having to fill out the same 11. And that's why so many injuries have been cropping up. And if it's not physical fatigue, it's mental fatigue, I feel. There were certain times I'm watching Kulusevski and I was like, you're better when you're more infield and you're hugging that touchline a little bit too much. And as soon as he came inside a bit, he starts doing damage and starts showing some of his best work. I think we all know that as Spurs fans.
Yeah, I agree with you. We saw on Thursday, he was on the bench. First half was very dry. He came on, obviously got the assist for Scarlett. He does make the difference. He's just absolutely exhausted, isn't he? I mean, we are a much better team with him in. And let's just hope that rest has given him the injection of energy he needs for tomorrow.
Also, I think when he did come on, he played in the 10. I didn't think he even played in the 8. I think he played just behind Scarlett. And because he was playing just behind Scarlett, he used his physicality. He had the movement closer to the goal. And so he was able to show off some of his better skill sets, in my opinion.
You're right. And then in the striker position, centre forward, we have got Richarlison. 2 goals in 2 Premier League games. Obviously came off the bench at the end of Everton, had to go off early against Everton. Again, no real choice other than Richarlison at the moment, is there, for centre forwards, but he is always worth a goal when he's up there, isn't he?
I think that whether you like Richarlison or not, it's a thing where he just has to keep on getting in the right spaces at the right time. Just make those gambles. That's what centre forwards do. Get on the end of things, get on the back stick, give the defenders something to think about. he needs to watch that line a little bit more though, because sometimes he does get offside. But you just need him to be that focal point, keep pressing as he does relentlessly, and you know he works ultra hard. I still think he needs to work on his link play, but lately he has been involved in the build up. But yeah, if we're gonna do damage, he's got to be on it, and we need his aerial threat because I think defensively he does well for us, like as an additional player defending corners, etc. But especially going forward, I think he needs to be aggressive as he always is, and he just needs to ask questions and just keep moving. The movement is going to be massive for him now, and the worrying thing is he's still not quite 100% because they keep taking him off. That's something I've noticed, and he's trying to get himself into match fitness. You can see that he's slightly off it.
Agreed. And you know what? We're going to complete the set with the captain, Hyun-Min Son, who obviously was having a field day in the first half against Elfsborg. Looked like the son of old. Obviously, the competition wasn't Premier League standard, but he did look good in the first half against Leicester as well, didn't he? And then obviously he came off. Hyun-Min Son has to start, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's got to start. And I just want, like, with Son, even if you lose the ball, keep doing what you were doing on Thursday night. Even if the shots aren't quite coming off, keep doing what you did in that first half against Leicester, because he was a lot closer to goal, meaning he wasn't as wide and he was in between, I'd say, the two areas, the line between the box, the edge of the box. That's the area where he operates the best, and we just need to see him in that position a lot more, you know, and playing a little bit closer to the striker. And I think that's where we see the old Son whipping that ball top corner, taking a man on and doing what he can do. So yeah, that's what we want to see. We just want to see Son taking more risks, literally, because no one's going to be mad at him if he loses the ball and he's trying to do his job. That's what you're meant to be doing as a winger, as a forward.
Agreed. So let's go through this starting lineup once again. Kinski in goal, Porro, Gray, Davies, and Spence at the back. The midfield generals of Bissouma, Sarr, and Bergvall. And then up front, we have Kulu, Son, and Richarlison leading the line. Ash, what is your score prediction? Now, before you mention it, actually, you and I had our first watch along together after the World Cup. Brentford 2-2. Every single game that we've played there has been a draw.
Yeah.
What's your prediction for tomorrow? And obviously, you're in the studio.
I'm going to say 1-1.
Okay, you're going 1-1. I'm going for the same score, 2-2, when we did the watch along. Let's hope we don't get the defeat. Let's get 3 points and get back on winning ways. Ash, always a pleasure. People in the comments, let us know what you think of the lineup, your score predictions. Thank you for joining us. There may be another update later, but until now, like, comment, share, subscribe, and as always, come on, you Spurs.